Okay, this is Parks and Recreation Committee meeting at the City of Bisbee, County of Cochise, State of Arizona, Tuesday, November 8th, 2022, 5:30 p.m. City Council Chambers, 915 South Torreyville Road. Let's have roll call. Kevin Cullens present, Sarah Curtis,
Present.
Jane P. Gaffer,
Here.
Deborah Young,
Here.
Bill Bailey,
Here.
Mel Sowett,
Here.
Matthew Gurney,
Here.
and we got Logan too, so.
2 for 1 here.
Yeah, we're lucky. Okay, so I hope everybody had a chance to read the minutes, and I would look for a motion to approve them.
I make a motion to approve the last quarter's minutes.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. All right, new business. Discussion on vice chair. We've always had a vice chair. We should have a vice chair, right?
I agree.
I would like to nominate Deborah Young.
I second.
And all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, thank you, Deborah.
As long as you keep showing up.
I try to. All right, so discussion of planting by the bloomers of desert and deer resistant plants in the Vista Rose Garden. Do you
We're
want,
making our notes. Sue got the second.
so do you want to tell me, do you want to talk about the problem of this, or should I address this?
Someone should.
Yeah, you guys can. I know we briefly talked
Okay.
with Josh the other day.
So, I guess the city is worried that people will see us planting different kinds of plants in the rose garden and may start calling Public Works and making their crazy objections all the time. So, I feel like it's important that we leave the roses that we have. They're very healthy. They get chewed on every spring by the deer, but we have lost, I'd say, dozens of roses over the years, and we don't know how to prevent that. And we would like more color in the winter and less maybe work, and you know, just something that will be pretty without huge gaps where the roses die. Is there a motion to allow the bloomers to plant
I make a
desert
motion
and
that
deer?
the bloomers should be able to plant desert plants in the rose garden.
I don't understand what the problem is.
People complain about everything that we
People
do.
are gonna complain about
Right,
everything.
right. So we're just kind of trying to say,
Cross our T's, dot our I's. We
Yeah.
went through the process.
Have you
Yeah.
heard from specific people that,
My guys, more or less, they get approached or talked to by people, so I can't
Yeah, so it's,
specifically.
I've a couple of evenings been there to water the little tykes that I put in, and all I've got is, oh, good for you,
yeah,
good for you.
Yeah,
So
that's-
I would go with that, and just, I mean, it's such an easy thing to say. I mean, this is, the roses aren't working.
or we love the roses, but we love the
Okay.
other plants too.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that's
You know
good.
what?
Less water, less everything.
a thought I had is, if we could, I know the ones we don't wanna take out, obviously, the ones that we already have.
no,
But maybe we want to do like half and half, where we have like almost, and this is just ideas, and I'm just thinking of, like every other one be desert or, you know, desert and deer resistant plants, and every other one be a rose.
Why?
What's that?
What's the benefit of that?
So it's kind of,
Aesthetic.
yeah,
I think
aesthetic
it
and the looks of it and
Be
everything.
separated.
Well, if the roses are thriving, it seems like you would keep those and get rid of, you know, and then like you say, just plant in between intermittently.
So it
As the
all
rose
kind of goes
bites it.
and flows with itself.
Could the name be changed to the rose and others?
the garden.
Yes, the Vista Garden.
How
Yes.
about
The lower
Yeah,
Vista
that's right, the flowering garden.
flowering garden?
Yes,
Because it's not a vegetable garden.
that's right.
The hopeful garden, yes.
I mean, you could, I mean, what we kind of have this up by the Grassy Park, sorry, on the east, northeast corner of Grassy Park, northeast of the museum, a small little desert garden there as well, so you could almost call it a desert garden.
Desert garden would be great.
Possibly something like that.
But there's still gonna be roses there, so.
Desert
Yeah,
flower
and
garden.
there are a lot of roses that are
We don't
doing
have to-
just fine, especially the east side.
Yeah,
We
you
would,
could even, do it where one whole section is roses and the other side is desert.
we don't wanna dig up anything, cause we would surely kill it.
Yeah, but there's not as many on the left side
Right,
on the west side than there are on the east side.
I
Right.
have a bed in front of my house, and there were 2 roses there when I moved in, and then I planted stuff around them. And the roses are doing great, and everything else is kind of just like filled in.
I think, and I think.
Yeah, this is just
So they-
ideas, I
so
mean,
they-
I'm not
So
saying
the
this
roses
is what I want or
survived.
anything.
Yeah, in the future, Jane has ideas where we can, make it rather than, just a plant here, a plant here, a plant here, a plant here, just really blended and, looking really, either more
I
natural
like
or.
landscapes rather
Yeah.
than plant.
Yeah,
But,
Yeah.
It'll come,
we'd like
because
to
something will
just
take over and we'll say thank you.
And this will kind of tie into our
Yeah.
wildlife,
Correct.
project
Or-
wildlife.
But we'd like to get them in the ground before it really freezes hard, so we'd like to,
Soon,
yes, like.
yesterday.
Any further discussion on item 2?
Yeah.
Sarah made a motion,
So-
right, and then
I
I
made
jumped
a
in for
motion.
discussion.
Do you
Yeah,
want to
Okay.
make that again? Is it
Yes.
important that you make it again?
I move that the bloomers are allowed to plant desert and deer-resistant plants in the Vista Rose Garden.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. We're good. So we will be working on that, and if you've been to the demo garden on Melody Lane, those are some of the plants that we will be planting, and
Great.
it is amazing.
yes, it does look great.
I'm not sure that, will be quite that amazing, but anyway. Okay, number
Sounds good.
3, benches with ARPA funds.
And whoever put this on, awesome. This is something that we kind of wanted to talk about not last time, but I don't know, yeah, last time I think. And weren't able to because it wasn't on the agenda. So what we were talking about, discussion on benches, is, I don't know who put this in, were we talking about a specific area?
I don't think we talked about that specifically.
We-
Oh, I meant whoever put this in.
What does ARPA stand for?
American,
Rescue.
The funds for the
COVID.
COVID
COVID.
funds
COVID money.
yeah.
associated with the COVID funds.
But what's the name of it? I mean, is this?
American Rescue.
American
Plan.
Rescue Plan, some.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So 2 years ago, we took a survey of all the parks
Yeah.
and made recommendations to Jesus about,
Okay.
what benches, we'll buy those benches. So we didn't get any benches. I think in the end, we kind of, perhaps we feel that it's Vista that needs the benches.
Yeah, I went out and looked at these 3 parks, Vista Park, Garfield Park, and City Park. Vista Park has 2 benches on the west side, 2 benches under the tree that's gonna be cut down, as we think, and 2 picnic tables, not under anything. At Garfield Park, which is, Garfield and City Park are less visited, but Garfield Park has 3 benches and 3 picnic tables
There's a lot of
under
places.
nice ramadas, I mean,
Yeah,
they're
There's a
high
lot of
end,
places to sit, yeah.
And so they have equivalent of, 6. City Park has 6 as well, 3 benches and 3 picnic tables under 1 big ramada. So it seems like, we've talked a lot about the benches, and one time Logan mentioned, years ago, no, months ago, whatever, that the benches were $800 a piece. And then, since I've gone to the Bisbee Foundation for the City Beautiful kiosk, they were more than willing to give money So if need be, maybe we go to the Bisbee Foundation and say, we need, $3,000 for some benches, and I think we would, if money's the issue, and it sounded like when you said they were $800 a piece, that maybe that is the issue.
I've done some more shopping after that since then, and there are some, commercial grade ones that are a lot more affordable, around 300.
But
Even-
does anyone know the one, I have recently looked at the ones over the bocce court. Really nice, sturdy, no plastic, no wood, no nothing, just nice mesh coated. There's one in the Laverne Williams Linear Park. They're sturdy. You can get 3 people sitting on them. They're nice. There's nothing chintzy about them at all. They are super park benches. I would recommend those. I don't know how much they cost. I'm sure they are, and I'm sure there's a reason for it. No one wants
Yeah.
the wooden ones because the wooden ones are going to, splinter and everything. But I don't want plastic.
Yeah, like PVC. But let me just go back. This was discussed a couple of meetings ago.
Mhm.
And you were supposed, we said, that's where the ARPA, because I thought the
Yeah,
finance
because
for this was gonna come from the ARPA fund. So did you follow up on this? Was this been,
Yeah, and that's
has been
part of-
decided?
So, and I talked to a couple different ones, people, after our last meeting, and in between, I even talked to Bill, specifically for Vista Park. And I even have, talked with, the city manager about this, and and the mayor, and they both think it's a great, thing as well, is to bring back the gazebo that we once had at the Vista Park. If you see, and I don't have them here tonight, if you can, there's historical pictures of the big gazebo in the middle of the lower Vista. And that is one thing, as far as, that is not benches, but there will be, seating in and around on that gazebo.
Especially since the tree is gonna be cut, as we.
Possibly,
talked.
depends on,
The Lebanese cedar?
And I don't know.
It's
we're
dying.
we're
It
not
is.
saying we want that. There's,
Yeah, I know.
there's options out there. Sometime I'm gonna be getting with our, council members in Warren, in Ward, what ward are you?
2.
Two.
That's the area.
But
But Matthew, I mean, it seems like we're talking about this, we've talked about this. I've been here for a couple of meetings. So where do we go from here? Rather than, we have a plan, then we're having other ideas. It seems like ideas just keep
Yeah, we're
popping up.
working on getting
Okay,
pricing.
my question is, you said that last time.
Yes.
Yes. So where do we stand here?
Yeah, and when we couldn't talk about it last time, so.
So we've had discussion of it before, so what's the next step?
Yeah, what's the next step for me? Will it be required that we put a proposal for the city to give us the funding there?
No.
No?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, go ahead, Lou.
Okay, so we have the American Plan Rescue Act money. There's several places that money has been allocated to for parks. Tin Town, for new playground equipment, which
Saginaw.
is desperate need, Saginaw as well. So we're getting quotes and prices on that. Once we get the things we've been mandated from our boss to take care of, then we're gonna have a better idea of the money that we have on what we can do. And that's where we were looking at, using some of
Yes.
that money for it. What Matt was alluding to too is like, do we wanna take that money and do the dance pavilion? Right?
Or, yeah, gazebo / dance pavilion.
Or as a goal,
Dance
wanted to present
pavilion,
it. Yes,
Well,
Jane, I actually saw the original pictures from you when we went to the
They're
mall.
gorgeous. They're absolutely gorgeous, but that's a rose garden with big, the whole thing is beautiful. I think just putting a pavilion with seats around when we might or might not, I mean, it's also up in the air. Are you going to cut the tree down? So is there going to be a thing right on the circle where the tree is? I don't know
Yeah.
what we're talking about.
My recommendation.
I think we've just gone all over the place. This is my
yeah.
concern. So if you can just give us, so we all, because we talk about this, then Matthew now came up with a different idea. That's fine. So, and you're saying we're getting prices, we're getting quotation on what? What are you getting quotation on?
Playground equipment, we have to find out what we're spending out of the money.
No, we're talking about the benches now.
Right,
Yes.
right, so we know how much they cost and what they are, we haven't decided what you guys want to,
Okay.
right? You
So what do you want
obviously
us to do? What do you want, are we to do a proposal? Are you gonna come and do a proposal? Do we present it to the city council?
One
Give
of
us
the
a
things-
roadmap so we can have those. It seems like we talk about those on and on and on.
Yeah, we need to have maybe an idea, that maybe 2 or 3 benches, what the
Yeah,
cost
yeah,
is.
whatever you come up
And
with.
then we say we like that
Yeah, and then we.
bench, and let's
Yeah.
do 4 of those benches.
Well, my recommendation is that you put 4 to 6 benches
Yes.
in Vista Park,
Yeah,
and that it be accomplished in the next 6 months.
quickly,
Okay,
yeah.
that's
How about that?
simple. We can do that.
Yeah, that's, and just whatever required, then you go to the city, to the council,
Yeah.
go to the city manager, and then that funds get approved. But it seems like we get an idea, then we have another idea, then another idea, and we don't have benches, we
We've
just
got
need to
an
sit down.
opportunity right now with the American Plan Rescue,
Yeah.
we're not gonna get a bunch of it back, right? I mean, once we spend it, unless there's another COVID and then they hand out millions of dollars
I
again.
don't think that's gonna happen.
I hope it doesn't happen,
Yeah,
no.
for that matter.
When
It
we
might,
say
but it's
Vista
beyond our
Park,
control.
when we say in 6 benches in Vista Park, within the next 6 months, which part of Vista Park are we talking about? The lower market segment?
That's the highest frequented area.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
right, yeah, we need
right.
it more because you
By
think
the
enough
farmer's market
benches,
area.
yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
really, 4 more picnic tables will do it. You can get 8 around a picnic table on the...
What's the condition of those picnics? I think they're wood,
I
in
did
my mind,
PVC
they're kind
wood,
of funky,
like
I
I did
don't know.
PVC.
The ones that are like by the shuffleboard,
That's right.
those are wood.
Wood,
And
okay.
are they holding up? I can't.
They were recently painted.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm not against the idea of the gazebo or anything
Yes.
else, but because we've been talking about
Yes.
seating
Benches, yeah.
in Vista
Yes.
Park, I think that we should concentrate on
Yeah.
the seating.
Yes, and the
I
gazebo
see.
would bring seating.
But it also is something else, so I think
Yes,
we
yes, I
need
agree.
to concentrate
Yeah.
first on having.
Yes.
Yeah, I think the benches.
There is already a bench right beside where the people play the music,
Mhm.
and that is the sort of iron...
Yeah, that's,
Yes.
yeah,
Over
that's
the-
what,
Yes, I know what you're
That's
talking
what we want.
yeah, basics.
That is
solid.
what we
Those are
want.
nice.
They
Yeah.
are nice, they
I think they're
are
made of PVC, isn't it? It's like a
They're
metal
they're
coated.
metal and then coated in rubber.
rubber, yeah.
Are
So-
those
so-
expensive ones?
Okay,
And what
those-
Deborah, what we're saying now,
I don't-
Matthew, what do we need to do to get those benches? Let's put them on the
6 of
agenda,
those.
6 of those, we'll proceed, so we don't be talking about this next year, and the year
Yeah, yeah.
after, and the year after.
We'll send
Well,
you,
then-
we'll send you all pictures.
Yeah, thank you, yeah, just,
Well, once
I'll
we
install.
You don't-
Once we decide in the benches, we can say, where do we want them, and we can go out there and
Yeah.
look around. We'll say, one here, one here, one.
you come up with a proposal
Fine,
that
if
we
you
will
wanna,
vote on, and
Shouldn't be a big
And
deal.
actually, I'm fine with you just
I mean,
deciding on
Yeah,
benches and
that's
just
right,
putting them
that's
out
right.
there.
Put 'em-
that's
That's
fine.
just me, but.
We can get
Talk
them
for
done.
hours on
We
that.
can
Yeah,
talk about
yeah.
this, but
I remember, it's been here,
Because
benches.
then
benches.
everybody's gonna want them a certain way, and I mean, and we won't, I mean, no, not everybody's gonna be happy with where they're at, no
That's
matter
true.
what.
And we-
Yeah, you're not gonna please everybody, but
Yeah,
we'll
not
get
even everybody
consensus
in
on
this
those.
room.
and-
I will be happy if I can see
Yeah.
benches in 6 months.
that-
Well, and they could be
So by
moved
next spring.
into
Oh,
a
yeah.
pavilion if you.
Yeah,
You know, if you
Yeah.
want to
Yeah,
put them
so-
somewhere. and
So we
then-
have, sorry, Kim,
Well,
go ahead.
so you could buy benches now, or very soon, and then if you build a pavilion, move a few benches in there.
But if the pavilion doesn't happen, we could put
Got the
the
benches.
benches there.
Yeah, benches.
Buy more for the pavilion.
I think what the group, what we're saying here, Matthew, and just so clarified, let's get benches well, because we go to the farmer's market, most of us go, there's not enough seating. And then if your idea of pavilion, see, I think God is punishing me.
Talking about
That's,
seating.
yeah. If the pavilion later on, we can work on, but let's just get some seating, and what Deborah is saying, what you're saying, you know, and let's just kill this.
So do
Okay,
we need,
make a motion
Okay.
and
okay, yes, why don't you make that motion?
So I move that the Parks Department purchases 6 benches at their discretion
In 6 months.
in 6 months' time.
For
With
this
N.
part.
to match the one that is already there.
She's-
Because we like
She's
that
amending
one.
my motion.
Yes.
Yeah, you
Is
are.
that an
Jimmy.
official amendment? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, Matthew, the question I have now, we have the money now. Are you saying this is a budget for this, from the ARPA fund?
Yes.
Yeah.
we
Okay,
can-
so let's just take, I think it will happen within a couple
So
months.
do I.
Why 6 months?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I
Because my
can,
history is that things take a long time.
No, Matthew's gonna do it this time. Logan is gonna do it.
So another
Do we have a
amendment
second?
within 2
We have a
months.
motion on the table.
Yes.
Do we have a second?
Yes.
Second.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? So, next meeting, we
We'll congratulate
We're
you
able
on
to
having
say-
done it.
thank you for those benches.
And I'll go this week and tell everybody we'll have benches coming to the park. So.
There you go.
There you go.
Call Public Works if you don't see them.
you don't see him by New Year's.
All right, thank you. That's
Thank you.
good.
Yeah,
That's good.
really, thank you.
Okay, number 4, we'd asked about having updates between meetings, so this would be a perfect example of how the benches are coming along, I guess.
Yes.
Because we don't know what the schedule will be for next year.
Yeah, we don't have that yet.
It seems like it's usually February and
I'm
then-
thinking so.
She just,
That's what it was. Sorry.
when it gets sent out?
No, when the next meeting is, somewhere around
Usually,
February.
our calendar usually starts in February for some reason.
Well, at the last meeting or the one before, we had asked you to give us updates. You know,
Yes,
like what's going on in the parks, or, you know, do I need to swing by this park and look at this or look at that? But we haven't heard anything.
correct.
So we wanted to emphasize
And I'm
that.
going to add that in my notes so I can make, because I won't remember unless I have it in my calendar, so.
Great.
So do you have any updates for us now?
That's what we're doing here.
Yeah, I mean,
And it doesn't need to be literature. It can be bullets. This is what we're working on. 5 lines.
Bullet points.
okay.
So the meetings are every 3 months?
3 months.
Quarterly? Okay.
No,
So,
no,
like-
no, no, no. Surely they were once a month during the spring and summer.
Yeah,
They
that
were
was,
scheduled,
those
but
are
we didn't hold
special
them.
meetings.
Yeah.
Well,
No, they're set to quarterly. That's the, what we're, what do you call it? That's what they're, the code,
Mandated, designated?
yeah, mandated for.
Once a quarter. So if it's
Yeah, every
February,
quarter.
it's March, April,
Every
May.
quarter.
June. Okay. This leads into
No,
my,
that's number 8.
but it's the same rough subject. No.
Let's just,
Okay,
okay,
good.
let's just stick with the
Fair
agenda. Okay, so, in about 6 weeks, is that what you're saying? Is that what you're writing into your, calendar, Matt?
Yeah.
You'll
In
let
6
us know
weeks, we
how
have
the-
another interim meeting or
No,
something?
he's
No,
gonna
he's
send
give us
out an
update,
email.
Let us know what's
Oh,
going on.
okay,
6 weeks.
okay.
So, that,
Okay.
you'll talk to us about the benches and anything else that comes up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, thank you. Number 5, discussion on finalizing dates on removal of barbecue grills from city parks. I'm thinking this might be Deborah's agenda item.
Well, I keep emailing Matt saying, when are you guys gonna take the girls out? When are you gonna take the girls out?
Yep.
Today I was at Garfield Park and I cleaned all of the trash and paper and stuff out of the barbecue grill that people were using. So I know that you've got a long list of things that you wanna do, and I want this item to be able to be crossed out.
We're gonna take it to council. We've had a lot of feedback my guys have, as far as why are we removing these? And also people thinking, there's no rule against people having a barbecue or something. So we're taking out a permanent structure and allowing somebody to bring in the charcoal or something that could be tipped. So, our thought is we will take this to council, since they're the city representatives, and we'll see if they wanna vote out all the barbecues out of all the parks.
Okay, you removed them from one park,
We did, and that was what kinda triggered people going, what are you guys doing?
okay, so,
And then Hayden's, we took one out there as well, and Josh and Dan have both been like, hey, is this gonna continue? We've had people like, why are you taking these out, or why is that barbecue gone now, so. To take in all people, I think taking it to council would be the fairest thing myself.
So you put it, you will go on the.
Yes, after we have this meeting, then we will go ahead and
Put on the
CAF it.
And we'll follow up from there.
So council is legal counsel, that's what we're talking about?
Council
No, no,
is
no,
in the
no.
city
City
representative.
council.
City
The
council.
council.
I mean, the number one reason is fire danger.
Yeah.
Right, I definitely understand, I mean, but like I said, there's no law or ordinance against somebody being able to have a grill in there. So then we take out a permanent thing, and you have somebody playing baseball or football and knocking open a charcoal grill.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a
too bad
possibility.
that.
So what, I guess what the issue is, if you really wanted to change it, you would probably need an ordinance saying no open fires or no pits or something.
Well, during fire season, wasn't there a regulation about no open fires?
Well, I mean, the fire station will have their burns, like you have to call, you have to get a burn permit and call in, see if it's an okay day or if the wind's too high or whatnot, but as far as like people barbecuing and whatnot, as we asked Jim, the chief, and he's like, no, they can take it in there,
They
there's
do.
nothing that they
People,
can't.
yeah, I
They
mean,
do
people
even-
are setting fires with trash in the barbecue grills. They're taking trash and they're burning them.
Homeless people, yeah.
Yeah, we've got somebody up at Hillcrest in the back southeast corner going in the corner starting a fire up there. I mean, it's
Yeah,
getting colder, so we're gonna have a lot of our,
yeah.
Yeah, what Logan is saying, this will have to go, because that's a public where, you know, the constituent will come and say, this is a right, where's the ordinance on this? So probably it will have to come to council.
It's
And
too
I think-
bad trees were planted so close to the Ramadas, because
Yeah,
that's the
that's one
fire
thing.
danger.
Okay.
And I bet
Just the
people who
trees
are
being-
burning trash are
trees,
probably
yeah.
saying, no, this is a barbecue grill, I'm getting ready to barbecue. I mean, they can say anything, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So that could be in our update in 6 weeks.
Yeah,
About
and
how
I would
Okay.
say, if you guys are really, I would talk to your council members and other people, you know, so that it's a discussion and everybody's aware and it doesn't say, no, we're not gonna get rid of it. Maybe everybody does feel the same way, you know, as far as the risk and everything, so.
And what we can do, once it comes in front of council, you guys have your recommendation, that will be taken into consideration, what you guys
Yes.
recommend. And
Yeah.
we'll make a decision based on this.
Yeah, we would take it to council, parks, the parks committee is recommending that
Yes.
we remove these.
And it becomes an ordinance, and that's.
Yeah.
Did they make that recommendation? Since we're
Is
discussing?
that all of them, Deborah?
I think
or
so,
just
that's what I
Garfield
wanted,
Park?
so I think we should
Just-
be
I think
able to do
All
that.
of them?
I think you guys could go ahead and put your vote and put your opinion out to us so that we can go ahead and put that to council
Okay.
now off of this, so.
So
if you
do we,
wanted to,
could we have a motion to recommend the city remove all barbecue grills from city parks? Or,
I think that's a shame.
Yeah, that's not a recommendation because of fire danger.
But you may have an issue like with a place like the Vista, where like around the holidays, the 4th of July, a lot of people go out and barbecue. So you may have some pushback from this. We need to keep that,
Yeah, but how
that's my
many-
recommendation.
how many-
consideration.
Fixed barbecue pits are there in Vista Park?
I have no idea. how many it
There's,
is.
if you want, 2 or 3.
Two, three.
three,
Well,
with
a
the reminder.
number of people actually bring their own
Bring their own,
gas
I would
grills
think
and
that-
they
Okay,
take
so,
them out.
but
and start
the ordinance,
burning them.
so you know, I'm advising here, so the ordinance, are you saying no charcoal, but they can bring butane or gas? Because if we decided to remove the city barbecuers, can a person bring their own? Or we have to have an ordinance where completely not allowed? That becomes a little
Or,
tricky, so you just need to be.
or like you say, charcoal at the Copper Queen RV park. No charcoal, but gas, you can have gas.
That's what I'm saying, they have to be
Another
clear. If you say
detail.
completely no, I think just my feeling, and I'm just advising here, you're gonna have a big pushback on that.
My recommendation wouldn't be to tell anybody they can't bring their own grill. It would be that,
You have to bring your grill
that
instead of.
the city doesn't provide.
Doesn't.
Oh, okay, so the city eliminates, but a person can bring their
Bring
own.
their own.
That would be my
Okay.
recommendation.
Then
That way, when
brings
they're
us to
done-
council,
When
yeah.
they're done,
Is
they'll
there
a-
okay,
take
is-
them.
Oh, so you're concerned, it's good, now it's getting clear, so because we have them permanently, people are coming and burning trash,
They leave it
making a
there.
mess,
And
leaving
then they leave the coals.
Once they bring
and
their own,
there's-
it goes with them, they clean up. I mean, that makes it a little bit,
And
yeah,
I'm just,
that's
and
good.
it's fine, whatever, I mean, if that's what you guys wanna recommend.
Yeah.
I'm just playing a little, not devil advocate,
That's
but,
fine, you can lead it,
Um,
devil.
Well,
cause I'm fine, if that's what you guys want, that is fine. That I'll take and recommend. But if you have someone that has you know, they bring in their charcoal grill and they go under those same trees, what's the difference?
The difference is they'll wheel out their hot coals with them.
She
Not
necessarily.
as
For
far
the
as
most
people.
part, and everything's shifting, it's shifting to gas. I mean, everybody's.
What would
using-
you guys
I would
recommend?
disagree with that
Everybody
because
does not.
people that are true grillers use charcoal.
Yeah.
And mesquite, please.
Yes, yes, come on now.
Yeah.
So,
What would you recommend? I'm tired of cleaning
I-
up the
I
mess
could-
from the grills and worrying
Is there
about
any way
burning.
they can, I mean, this is now, I'm thinking outside of the box, that they can be covered and, so, I don't know, it becomes
This
more
is-
bureaucratic where somebody has to bring the key and, I mean, I don't know.
Well, but if
Yeah,
they
that's
bring
right.
their own charcoal in, typically they take it out. They
I
don't
mean,
dump it there
they
on the
certainly
ground.
could, they
Yes, I
certainly
would
could dump
agree
it on
with
the
They
ground.
could, but
Maybe-
most likely.
Exactly.
Maybe we do
they
something,
could, but
They could.
maybe we throw locks on it.
That's what I'm
And
saying.
cover a lock on it, and if you want to barbecue.
Actually, I've
you-
seen this in some
Go to the
major, you know, this is, it's
I
gonna be.
mean, that puts more on the
Oh,
staff. I mean, which, I mean, yeah, that's what we wanna do.
Yeah, you're gonna have some pushback on that.
I'm trying to look, make sure we're covering, I mean, I wanna look at both sides. I get the fire hazard. I mean, is the problem just fire hazard or cleanliness?
It's,
Probably a little bit of both.
Okay.
When you go to RV parks, there is usually a ramada over every little place and a barbecue in there. That surely is not a huge fire risk. People can barbecue. And it's in a position where there aren't any trees overhanging. I mean, that would get rid of the fire risk, would it not?
It sounds like the biggest, concern Deborah is especially having is more people that are not barbecuing, but just starting fires. Probably
Well,
to
both.
stay, both.
Well, I'm leaving a mess, leaving
I mean,
a mess of
yeah,
charcoal
yeah.
that we have
Yeah,
to clean
if-
up, or you guys do.
If, one thing I could look at, I mean, if we're looking at it, and I'm just strictly fire hazard, we could look at moving them out into other places where there aren't, trees. But at the same time, people barbecue, they wanna be able to barbecue next to the, you know,
Next to the table or.
next to the
or
table and all
shade or-
that stuff. So, I mean, I don't know if that makes any sense to move them out away from that. And like I said, there's a lot of trees, like, let's say Higgins, for instance, there's trees right there. I mean, they cover the whole area right there. So
I think it has to do, I see, I mean, just logically, and I'm just thinking out loud here. I mean, you go to major state parks, they have those. I mean,
Yeah.
in the middle of the forest, you have those. Well, and I'm not saying the issues that you know, leaving them, the homeless and whoever making a mess, but you're just gonna have, it's a tradition, people go to the park and they barbecue. Maybe we need to be do some more safety, but I think just being on the council, and I will be honest with you here, it's going to be difficult saying we're going to eliminate those and nobody can barbecue. I'm just giving you an idea. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm just saying it may be
I
not.
said the only reason I brought that up is because we've had feedback from people, and I
other
mean,
constituents.
yeah, people would say people think that it's a little alarmist, the ones that have provided feedback, but.
I do have an idea. One thing that we could look at, not look at, but add to, depending on which way you guys want to go, is add into, which I'm surprised that it's not, because I'm hearing you're saying like you're cleaning it up and everything, that my guys should be cleaning that up when they're cleaning the parks. So if they're not doing that, that's something that I can address. That they should be doing that when they're cleaning the parks every day. And that's something that we should
It
be
would seem
cleaning.
like.
We should be cleaning that up, so.
This could be, yeah, you have some
So, as
maybe
far as that
issue
point,
there, especially after
that's
the
an
weekend.
internal
I mean, so everything should be clean, you know, like
Yeah,
you
it'd be
said.
like cleaning the
And then
tables.
you ensure, maybe you will have a plan after the weekend, when most of these happen, over the weekend?
On weekends, yeah.
On weekends. So what Matthew can do, make sure, you know, you make a checklist.
We're there
This is a
every day.
priority, huh?
Yeah, we're
Every
there
day.
even on the
So if they're not cleaning, you know, Matthew's not doing his job.
I don't think it's the city's responsibility to provide a charcoal grill for someone to have a barbecue. I don't think that's something that my tax dollars that go to the city, I don't
Oh.
think that is a necessary use.
But they're already
There's
there.
so many.
We're not spending any more money now.
But
Only
think,
to
about-
clean
think
it.
about how much money it'll cost when the town burns down.
Yeah, but you
It's
could-
preventative.
But the town hasn't burned down. How many fires have been caused by grills? So you really,
They've been here for how long? I don't know, because I've only been in this town for 12 years. And I know they've been there since then, and before that.
Yeah, well, like,
But-
the one I asked you to move on Upper Garfield, you moved it 3 feet, it's still under the tree.
I haven't been up there, so I'm not sure. I did tell them to move it out from under the
They moved it
trees.
3 feet.
Well,
Um,
just, you
I
can
mean, yeah.
table it, you can bring it up, you can, you guys have to come
I don't
up
know
with
this
a
either.
Yeah,
recommendation.
everybody needs to have a,
Yeah.
opinion.
You
I
guys
mean,
know my opinion, so what do you think, Sarah?
Well, I don't live next to the park, so this is my opinion is that since they're there, I would feel really bad if we take them out and somebody would come in one day and wanna have a picnic and there's nothing there to have a grill. And it seems to me that most parks do have them, but I'm not living next door, but I think that it's good to have them. I don't see any,
it's certainly a nice accessory to have, and RVers and RV parks. RVers bring their own usually. I mean,
A lot of people.
you have a table
a lot
and
of people
people
don't have.
set out their grill on the table or something, so.
A lot of people, when they have parties, because I live across from Higgins Park, I see lots of parties, lots of grills being brought, mostly
Yeah.
Sure.
mostly gas. I think, like there's one left in Higgins by the street.
Mhm.
And if it was moved way over by the second Ramada where there, isn't a tree very close, then that would
The
help.
one by the pool?
No, I don't think those trees are very close or very big. But I think Arizona ash is overhanging the one that's, left.
That seems like a great.
So then there's another Ramada right next, there's two, and the other Ramada, if that one was, I think if it was moved over 10 feet or something, it wouldn't be.
Well, that seems like a good
So
solution
maybe
for all the
seems like-
parks.
Would
Move
that
them
help?
away from the trees and get them more in the open.
Yeah,
Yeah, but.
You still have them, but they've been, maybe there's 10 of them moved in different parks.
we should
Yeah.
have fire marshal go and evaluate
Yeah.
from a
Okay.
professional point of view.
Yeah, does he do things like that?
Yeah, he's making.
Yeah, you will
doing
evaluate to
inspections
make
around
sure
town.
what the danger and how dangerous, and
Yeah.
you will bring up the
Yeah,
recommendation.
I mean, I'm not saying that, like I said, if you guys want to take this to council, we'll by no problem, take it to council.
Yeah.
But, that's up to,
The fire marshal
You
sounds
find.
like a good idea, though, just to get another opinion.
Yeah,
I
professional.
think
And then wait for 3 months.
I think moving
well,
them is. a
fire
good-
season, you've probably
Compromise.
caught us already, but we do have a little wiggle room here as far as it gets really dry again, so
Yeah.
maybe it's worth,
Yeah, but we've been talking about it for a year, so.
right.
We can recommend, for now, I'm talking about, maybe in the long term we'll come up with a solution, but for now, make sure that he implements, Matthew,
Yeah, I
make sure
think
the
that's a great
cleaning,
idea.
this, on top of this. Encourage, have sign, encouraging people, get them to use, it's, recommended to bring your own, gas. And as these, grills become obsolete, we get rid of them.
How would
and
you
we'll-
encourage
we'll-
people to bring their own?
We'll have
A little
signs, yeah,
sign?
signs,
Please
saying,
bring your own grill.
yeah, for your safety, maybe you
Oh,
play
maybe,
on
yeah.
your, for your safety, for the safety of the neighbors, for the safety of the town. We recommend without taking that away from them and just making it like,
You take out
Yeah,
half of them.
slowly. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm just saying. It can be done slowly over time, and as people get used to bringing their own, rather than just say, okay, we're not going to have it. I think this will be a.
I think
It
we
will
could
not go well.
we could recommend that they be moved away from any
Yeah.
fire danger and,
Yeah.
you know, maybe with the approval of the fire marshal or with
Yeah.
his evaluation or
Okay.
recommendation.
Yeah, and there may be only
Does
10 or
that
12 that
sound-
need to be moved or something.
I mean, I don't think we have a lot. Oh, I mean, I know Bisbee would probably have, I don't know how many, actually. It's been a while since I walked
So
through the
there's
parks.
4 in Garfield.
Yeah, there's only 2 in Higgins.
And there's
So you don't
none
have 4
in Grassy. I think there's 2 in City Park.
We removed
Yeah.
one from Higgins.
Garfield doesn't need 4.
In Garfield, are they all under trees there?
Well, in Upper Garfield, it's under a
Yeah,
huge-
the other 2, there's one that's probably close to a tree in the bottom.
On the bottom, yeah.
There's 4?
I thought there were
Oh,
3 in the
3.
bottom.
Yeah, I think there's only 2 in the bottom.
There's one over by the mutt mitts, there's one at the far end, and then,
Anyway,
isn't there another
Okay.
one as you walk in? Yeah, I'm surprised that somebody comes to clean the park every day, because I pick up trash there a couple of times a week.
yeah. Yeah, they're touch every.
Maybe
park
they're not
every
doing
day.
their job.
Yeah,
So now Matthew knows.
they're supposed to, yeah, they touch every park every day. Pick up the pick up the trash out of the trash can, they should be cleaning up the trash, all that stuff, so that's something that we'll reiterate.
Yeah.
So,
Maybe there's a problem with whoever goes there, and my recommendation, Deborah, and I will say it in front of him, take some pictures whenever you see it, and we'll just,
that's fine, yeah.
yeah, so he knows, maybe his
It's
employees
easier for
not,
me
yeah,
just to pick it up.
yeah.
Yeah.
So do we want to recommend movement of,
No, evaluation, I mean, it's up to you guys.
Well,
Whatever
I
you
would,
guys wanna do.
I would recommend that they be moved from either moved away from the tree or
That's a
or
good start.
removed,
Yeah, if there's not a
if there's not a safe place.
realistic place to move them, cause you don't want it way in the middle of a park or anything like that, kids running around. So if there's not a realistic place to move it to, in a safe place, then, we can remove it.
So, do we wanna have Kevin Pachenko, our inspector, check out?
how about
All
with our
parks.
recommendation, we add
Yeah.
that
There you go.
his final say or something, his final
For
recommendation.
evaluation and
I don't
recommendation
know why
from
we
him.
need the fire marshal if the grill's under a tree, it's pretty obvious to me. I don't think-
Well, that will give you
Would
a way in,
Here we
saying
go.
it's dangerous on
Here
the
we go.
tree,
She
it's
can
dangerous. But I think,
designate the
you know,
spot.
barbecue are part of the,
I do.
It's
part
a good
of the,
person to designate.
yeah.
It's a good
Totally
person.
He's our
sympathetic with you,
scapegoat, so when people
but-
go, hey, why'd
Yeah, I
you do
know,
this?
remove
Fire
it.
marshal said.
I,
I think that.
That holds stronger than, oh, this public works director thought it was good.
Okay, do we need a motion then?
I'm not sure.
Is it
even-
right?
Yeah, let's
What
do
is the
a
motion?
formal one, and that include, you know, fire marshal, and
Okay.
whatnot.
All right, somebody come up with that motion, because I'm not sure.
Okay, I move that the Public Works Department moves any grills that are under trees in the parks and get a recommendation, or get an opinion from the fire marshal
As to what drills are
as to
a danger.
where, what grills are dangerous, but we think that,
Professional evaluation.
yes, from the fire marshal.
and do we add to that, the park department under Matt will, make sure that they clean up
Yes, I
rubbish?
think that's,
That's,
yes.
yeah, 'cause that's,
And the Parks Department will clean the parks each day.
Clean the park
grills.
grills each day,
The
as well
parks.
as the park.
Ensure that's happening.
Yes.
Would you say,
Yeah.
ensure that is
Yeah.
happening.
Okay,
I'll
Yeah.
second.
And I'm
No,
sure
this
maybe
is
somebody
good.
being a little bit, you know, not, yeah.
okay,
Could be.
Jane
You got it
is,
written down.
Jane is seconded, is it all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed?
I don't see why we have to have the fire marshal, the opinion of the fire
It's
marshal.
too late now. Okay, number 6.
I don't think it's necessary.
Thank you.
Discussion on our recommendation for pool improvements. I think we're also worried about the health inspector shutting us down and wondering what happened at the end of the, full season. So,
I'll let you do that one.
So, I was just talking with Matt about that. Today, we're going to go out, we're gonna do a request for proposal for somebody to come in and evaluate the whole thing and tell us what we need to do to get into
A
compliance.
professional.
Full company.
For the splash pad scene,
No.
No,
We're talking, this is for the,
Just the pool itself.
this is for item number 6.
right?
Everybody
just
doesn't
the
know,
pool.
at the end of the pool season, the motor died completely. We're dead in the water at the pool. So if we don't get this fixed, there won't be a pool next year.
Yeah.
What happened to that guy that volunteered to do everything?
Peter, he gave us a lot of recommendations and whatnot, and he called it happening. He's like, you only got so much time left on it.
Yeah.
He nailed it on the head. He's like, within the next 2 weeks probably, with the noise, everything it was doing.
Yeah, it was being real
And
noisy, more than what it usually did.
And from the discussion with that, he obviously had a lot of history or whatnot. There's been a lot of workarounds and
The re-
Band-Aids.
Yeah.
That's how I would have described the pool. We've been Band-Aiding it for a while. That's why we want to go ahead and have a professional evaluation to see what we need to do to get that. For one thing, we don't know if the channel is small enough to move enough water for the turnaround that they have. Additionally, they're going to be stepping up the turnaround time within the next few years. It's something that's going to happen, so that's why we want to get a
and is
professional
that,
company in to tell us what we need to do to
is
keep
there,
that
is
thing
that
going.
state, is that state law, is that our county health department that's?
AZDEQ.
And so we wouldn't be grandfathered?
No, unfortunately, that's the same thing. We were grandfathered previously with the pool, and the new health inspector that came in, Todd Apple, says he's not okay with the grandfather anymore.
Can ARPA apply to some of that, the fund?
At this point, I think all ARPA funds have been allocated.
It's been allocated.
Yes.
The last time that a pool company came to analyze the needs of the pool, they came out with a $200,000 or $250,000, and that's where Peter Von Blumenbach, yeah,
He had some choice words about the company that was last there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, he made it happen, and it worked for 5 years, and,
So it's just become outdated, basically, and the standards are higher and becoming.
Yes. Yeah.
That's why we're
Trying to make
hoping,
it, pretty much ADEQ county are trying to do their jobs and make sure everything's running safer than it has been previously.
But they,
In order to do that,
but
they have to increase what, the turnaround time and all that.
So there is no real point in discussing it, it's got to be done.
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's weird.
But you have like an idea of where, how, I mean,
I'm gonna
because
put
it's
a
saying,
council action form in to get approval from you guys.
Yeah.
It won't be on
Put an
this
RFP
next
out.
meeting, but it'll be in the meeting after.
so I
that.
will make sure that I'm aware of it, so I can
Yeah.
speak on behalf of it, okay?
Yeah.
Getting into
So-
spring and
Yeah.
summer.
So you would it would need to be in next year's budget? I mean, say it came back.
No, it has to be in this year. It'll be in this year's budget.
We will just have to go and see, I mean, he will have to bring it to us, and from his department, they find whatever that will have to apply, and he has to come to the council for approval. So, and we have no choice in this,
Yeah.
because we need to have the pool next year.
What it comes down to, if we wanted to, we could just slap in the same motor and keep on going, but we're not, but the county said, we're not in compliance. We can't open unless we're in compliance. So there's no
Same
reason
problem.
just to slap in a motor
Yeah.
and be wherever we are. So we wanna make sure we're,
And you don't want to waste time, so you need all the time to make sure
so
it's ready next
we
year.
wanna make sure that we have a company that is telling us, this will work, this will do what you need to do to be in compliant, and if not, we have a fallback, hey, what's going on? You said this, it's not happening, you need to fix it.
Okay, for my own benefit, so when you bring it to the council, when you're gonna recommend for it, am I right?
Yeah,
So I can support, okay.
yeah,
So what are we not in compliance with?
The turnaround time.
yeah, the turnaround time.
Turn
So the
around.
amount of
The
times that the water circulates and is cleaned through the filtration
And
system
filtered.
before it goes back into the pool. It needs to be turned around within an 8-hour time period, and right now with the volume and that motor, we were probably closer to 10 to 11 hours.
So we got-
And it just makes it cleaner and cleaner,
Right.
obviously.
Yeah.
And so to do that, do you guys need to get like 3 different bids on?
Well, what we're gonna do is put a council action form for RFP, request for proposal. So we'll put down a scope of work of what we're trying to accomplish. It'll get posted in the paper and on websites, and then companies will come to us and say,
Hopefully.
And give you a bid.
yes,
Oh,
they'll
yeah.
give an estimate, do
Yeah, we get people
everything.
to, yeah, so, and then then when we get these bids in, we'll open them up, and then we'll look at what they have to offer, then we'll talk to all the different companies, and then we'll go from there and pick a company that we feel.
And he has to come back to the council for approval.
Yeah, and then we'll probably come back to council with a contract or something like that.
And contrary to what people think, we don't just go with the cheapest automatically. There's way more thought process in it
For
than,
sure.
oh, that's the cheapest.
Well, that does sound, I mean, I understand that completely, but that sounds like a long process, and it's not, summer comes around so fast.
Yeah, that's
That
why.
finding these people, approving it, going through the council, that's all.
Yeah,
We're
I'm
trying-
hoping to have a company, we usually give, 15 days? So the next council meeting after that, well, we might be able to get it in this next one, if.
Well, if he starts now, we should be okay. I mean, if they start now, and we'll make sure, I mean, this is
Yeah,
something
we have
I
time.
think will be a no-brainer.
That's why we're trying to start.
We have an RFP for HVAC for both fire stations and the Copper Queen Library. And they're really hurting as far as air conditioning and heat goes. So, we are gonna get that done before next summer. As long as we start moving on this now, we should be able to have that
Yeah.
pull up and going.
We should have a contractor by mid-December.
Okay.
Especially with the lead times with materials and parts and stuff, that's more my concern
Yeah, that's
than the
a big problem.
All that stuff coming from China.
And, I mean, anywhere, really, right now,
But,
so.
Good.
Okay,
That's
so number 7, discussion and update on maintenance in City Park, broken plastic on stairway.
Yep, I can give you an update there. We're gonna have our guys do that. We just hired a gentleman, Victor De La Rosa. He is amazing as far as what he can accomplish.
really good.
We had somebody smash into the police department, like through the chief's store office, and he had
Not on
it repaired.
purpose, not on
No,
purpose.
yeah, not on purpose. Yeah, but they had it repaired within 4 days. Right. So I had them do an estimate for the city park, $2,500 for materials, and then it'll be on us. So
Just to do that.
just to take care of all the
And that's
stuff.
just up the
Just
stairway.
everything.
Yeah, it
we're
looks
actually-
like hell.
Yeah, the whole,
There's a big pile.
the whole thing,
Oh,
yeah.
really?
And we're actually gonna do too is they are what Victor was recommending with Raul, our supervisor, is that we're gonna drill some holes and put rebar in through different spots. Cause when they made that mix, the aggregate's too much rock, the reason it's even falling off. And would continue to, even after we stuccoed, is that base, there's too much rock in it. So they're
So
gonna drill
that's
some
gotta-
holes.
Maybe put some wire mesh maybe or something.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
exactly,
I
that's
think
where
so.
we're,
To
we'll
hold
be
it.
able to basically pour some forms that'll stay on there after we re-stucco
Okay.
it.
Yeah, 'cause it looks like hell.
Yes, it does.
And it's dangerous,
Yeah.
for people walking
Yes.
around.
Yes.
So we'll have an update for you guys, that'll be included in that 6-week
Update.
update with that.
Right.
I saw
We're
your
done.
post you put in to keep cars from running to cover the
The balance,
gates,
yeah.
but
We
that
talked
works
about,
perfect.
talked about that last time. Okay, number 8, discussion on special meetings. We were very disappointed that we couldn't have a special meeting between August and November. So is there a way we can have special meetings? I guess is our question.
Yes, on a normal time, yes. During that time, we were unable to.
What is-
With
what is-
scheduling.
I'm sorry, what does normal mean?
What did I
Is there,
say?
is there a
No.
normal?
Sorry, I don't remember what I said.
It's just,
As the doctor speaking.
The subject really came up, the people with the labyrinth. They weren't going to give us a plan that we could approve until we said that we were pro it.
Yeah,
We couldn't have a special meeting to do it, so where are they now? I mean, they've gone away, which is a shame.
No, it's still on this meeting.
It's still on the agenda.
Old
So wait a
business.
minute, so have
They're
they
the-
done anything in the 3
That's on the old
months
business.
that
No.
we, August the 9th they came to the meeting.
Mm-hmm.
It's now near enough November the 9th, 3 months. What
Yeah.
has happened between,
We agreed that was a great idea. No, I don't know what happened either.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm asking, that
What happened? What do you mean?
nothing has happened, apparently. That's the problem.
Were
If
they
we
gonna
could-
get the design and bring it to you guys? Do they have
Yes.
it ready?
They would,
Didn't they
Good
show
to-
us something?
Yeah, they
The
presented
design
something.
is the same,
It's
it's the
the
same
same.
anyway.
Anything after that. you know.
Yeah, and after that, just.
We all thought it was a great idea, and then
and nothing, I think we
And this-
said to them, bring us what your favourite
And
thing
they did.
is,
Yeah.
and we'll, and they haven't,
And on
because
this
there hasn't
meeting-
been a,
I
It
mean,
was going to be a recommendation from you guys to go forward, and that's what it should be. It was not typed right on this for number 1 in old business, and it was supposed to be approved in this meeting.
So can we still do that?
Yes.
But
but they haven't brought us the thing,
Who
because
are
there was
they?
no meeting.
Thomas Patterson.
so do we know how to get in touch with them? I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, they did.
Oh, yeah.
They were, the idea is they were gonna give us more information, they were gonna give us a plan. We thought it was a great idea,
Yeah,
can
we
you
did,
give us a
sure.
plan? We wanted to have a special meeting, we were told we couldn't have a special meeting, so we still don't have a plan, so how can we approve it when we haven't seen it?
I thought they had the plan last time.
No.
They did kind of
They
show
had the
us.
idea.
Yeah,
They had
I mean,
where they
Labyrinth
want it and.
is a-
I think they had something.
Yes, they had 3 or 4.
Yeah, so once you give us the idea, yeah.
It's just, I mean, don't let's get hung up about this particular thing. We wanted, it's very frustrating to sit at this meeting and talk about things again and again, and then we have to wait 3 months, during which time nothing happens. Maybe things are happening, but they don't appear to be happening. And I would like,
Nothing can happen unless it
It's
is
approved.
approved.
yes, but we were going to have a special meeting to
If we
approve
could have
it.
one, look,
Yes, and that's what I was saying. We weren't able to schedule
Okay,
because
so-
of the scheduling problem
Fine,
in
so.
Public Works.
So, okay, we are a group that all we could do is recommend things. We have no power whatsoever. I understand I'm sorry, this makes me mad. I understand the sunshine laws. I understand why the sunshine laws are done. What I don't understand is that we, a group of people who would like to have met with the people who were bringing the labyrinth in, because say, yeah, that's great, that's super, it could have been done in one meeting with the 5 of us without, you know, these things, without... and
No,
then-
it has to be these things. Even a special meeting is recorded.
Yes, and I'm saying that since we can't exactly, as a group, do anything subversive. I mean, all we can do, all we can do is recommend, talk to someone and get something moving. And-
Okay, but at this point, we need to, somebody needs to get a hold of those people, if we know how to, and say, we
So-
want you to present.
are we on
The
old
agenda
business or
item
new
is-
business?
I
The
think they've
agenda
gone.
item
they've
is
gone.
about
We've
special
gone
meetings.
into now. old
Yeah, and
business.
that, we jumped into that because that was required, I think the reason, because that was one of the things, we
Yes.
wanted special meeting.
I can't remember the other two.
An example of it, but we feel, we make that, when you're not available to have any kind of special meetings, that things are going really slow. If we could have a special meeting, we would help things move forward.
Yes,
And
and
you
I
can't,
understand that.
it's just the scheduling, like, I was in several special meetings for the cemetery group within the last couple months. It comes down to schedule as far as, you know, first come, first serve, I imagine. I don't know why you guys didn't, I would have shown up if you wanted a special meeting. If
We were told we
it's
couldn't have one. I mean, there was
Nina
no
is in charge of
possibility.
it.
We were told we
She's-
couldn't have one.
She's
Yeah,
not
she said
picking on
there's
you
no
guys,
opening.
it's not to pick on
I
you
don't
at all.
believe, I don't for 1 minute think that we're being
No.
picked on.
So
I
is
just
there any
think we're
way
not
we can-
moving? It's
can we
frustrating.
get this information maybe from these
I'm not
labyrinth
good at it.
people and do a vote, a proxy vote online? Is that ever done without a special meeting?
You know what I mean? I don't know.
Well, what you can do, I mean, since they made the presentation and we're all aware of this, I think what she can send the plan and maybe we can do this. I mean, I'll have to check with the, you know, with the council.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
I don't see a problem why we couldn't just say go ahead, but you guys want to see the final, I mean, you want to.
Right,
No,
could we
we
send
want to-
out,
we
we
want
can
to
do a
see-
vote
Yes.
by email, I don't know, I mean,
I
there's.
think that would be
Basically,
fine.
we're
I
just
think
saying we just
it'll make it
recommend anyway, we
too
don't
much.
vote,
So I
so
think
it doesn't
it'll be
matter, yeah.
We all have busy lives, and I understand.
Can I say something, could we have, unless you guys want, I'm not taking your place here. Can we say whatever they presented, the idea, we have approved it, so he can proceed with this? Or do you want to have a meeting for this?
And
to
then
make
you
sure.
can, and then.
We can just say we had approved it, we can just say approved,
and
for
we
what has
can
happened.
Move,
The idea, we've certainly approved, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, exactly, we've approved the idea.
no,
The idea was
I'd like
that,
to know.
We didn't do.
what are they doing?
it was not approved.
It was not approved,
It was
yeah.
not approved in the last.
No, I say, Matthew, can we do it now? Can we approve it now?
Yes, this was mistyped.
Okay.
It was supposed to be discussion and recommend, so I apologize for that, so it was.
So
supposed
today
to
is
be-
for approval?
Yes.
Okay, so we can do that
Wait a
today.
minute,
Okay.
approval of a particular thing? Or
Okay,
approval of
Just
the
let's
idea
finish
of
with
the
number
laboratory?
An idea.
let's finish with number 8. We've got, so
Okay.
you understand our frustration with
Yeah.
special meetings.
Yes,
And
and I
a
apologize.
Zoom meeting
But
would be wonderful at
we
8 o'clock in the
can't-
morning. It
I've
should
been
be,
given
should
strict,
be given more consideration. Okay,
No Zoom.
no.
anything else on special meetings? Okay,
We're
so.
bored.
Okay, now we go to number
If
1
something-
and you can work on.
If in the future there's something that you would like to have a special session on, let us know.
Well, we did.
I understand.
In the future.
That, at
In
that
the
point,
future,
in that
okay.
time, I could not have we could not have a special session. I
Okay.
understand your frustration, we were not able to.
Okay,
So
so,
if that happens
Never
again,
happen
there's
again.
another 3 months. I'm sorry, I
We know
realise
that.
it's government.
okay,
It hasn't happened.
old business,
Yeah,
discussion and possible approval of the labyrinth.
yes.
I don't really care what their actual plan is, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yes.
It's, how bad could it be?
Yeah,
No?
we just drawing on
I
it.
Here's
could
the thing
just-
with-
I could
Okay.
go with it.
Here's the thing with
I
this.
just approve it.
Before it gets done, I will, if it's, and should be before the 6 month, we will, whoa.
Little lizard
Yeah,
booties.
I will email
It's a
out
good sign,
the
Logan.
sketch
Yeah.
of whatever they have that
Really
they
good
sent
sketch.
me.
Okay,
Okay, so I will send that out to all.
He's faster than you are.
Yes.
But in the
Well,
meantime, we can approve it.
Yes,
That's-
Go ahead and
that's a
approve it
great
now.
idea.
Okay.
Yes.
yes.
so is there a motion to approve the design of the labyrinth, whatever it may be?
Whatever it may be.
Yes, yes. I think, yeah, how about like, let's say
Well, a
today?
How
labyrinth
bad
is,
can
I mean,
It's gonna be
this,
painted.
what they showed us, the circle thing, that is
That's
a
the idea,
labyrinth.
that's it, yeah.
It's just gonna be on the ground.
And it's painted, I believe.
It's painted, yes.
But
I
there'll be
moved-
little
I
details.
moved that we approve the
Yes.
theoretical labyrinth.
Yeah.
Is there a second?
I
Definitely.
second it.
All those in
And Sarah,
approve?
so, okay.
You see now, we're done.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, so, but it would be interesting if you could check into a proxy vote, because that would, then we may not have to have a special
Look into
meeting at
proxy
times.
vote.
Good idea.
Because I know other organizations can do that.
Yeah, we'll check, I think he will check with the legal, with the lawyer, I think that's what he wants.
Proxy?
Proxy.
P-R-O-X-Y?
X,
Yeah.
Y,
Okay.
yes.
And I'm not sure if that's quite right.
I don't know, no, it's not a proxy, you're asking someone else to vote on
Yeah,
behalf of
so
you.
An email.
Via Zoom,
An
via email.
An email vote.
approval.
By
Email
On
approval.
other boards I've been on, we could take a vote by
Yes.
email.
By email, yeah.
Okay, so not proxy, never mind. Okay, so we're on to number 2, discussion on splash pad. Took my granddaughter to the splash pad at Udall Park in
In what, park?
Udall Park in Tucson.
Oh, in
And
Tucson,
it,
okay.
they recycle the water through the pool,
Mhm.
and so it's always the same temperature as the
Oh, through the
pool
pool.
water.
That's interesting.
And then the well, they use bromine in Tucson in the pools. So it's always clean, and it's motion activated
That's
at the gate.
And you're not using more water, so basically the pool water is going
It's
back.
Right.
circulating.
Right.
I mean, it has evaporation, but other than that,
Yeah,
it felt.
yeah, it
So-
had some coming out of the bottom and then some very big ones that came from the top, and kids were having a great time.
Yeah.
How
So
many
we
kids
met
do we
with-
have in this area? Do we have enough that we feel like the money would be worth the amount of children that might use it? I
Oh,
mean,
I
didn't
think
you
so.
say it's 60, something like 65,000? The only reason that bothers me is we don't have the money for the pool. And we're thinking about another big expense for, you know, something that's, a splash pad is a luxury, where I think the pool is a necessity.
I agree with that.
I can
Just
I can
scratch
get
it.
that.
I think we should keep getting information though. I still.
Maybe in the
Which
future
we
we get
can-
some funding.
So,
So do you have further
yeah, we
information?
met with, not met, we didn't meet, virtually on the phone, Logan had made contact with, the Splash Pad USA, where we went over the last meeting, talked to them. It's a lot more than we even thought that goes into it. Logan can probably even go into it a little bit. They said a minimum, 100,000 for a 20 by 20.
So you,
20 by 20 is
Starting
pretty
out.
small, yeah.
Is this?
Because that's what we had said was 20 by 20.
can we
20.
table that for a while? I mean, I think
Yeah,
we're
I-
discussing something that's not
Well,
gonna
and
happen.
here-
We're just
exactly.
wasting time.
Here's one thing, I mean, as much as I know that city manager is against splash pads, I'm still, because this is what you guys wanted, so we're going forward with it. I get what you're talking about, Sarah, but if there's grants, that's a little bit, that's different, that's not coming out of general fund and everything like that, so, I mean, but it's also up in the air, you don't know if you're gonna get approved or not. So, we can continue down the road with this company, now that we have made contact, they've gotten some of our information that we had given them from our last meeting, and we can go, because you can kind of tell about what he
But-
went into it a little bit.
Given that, I'm sure it's very interesting what you have to say, but given that we're not going to do it
Let's just
at the
listen.
moment, let's just
We've asked
say,
them to get information
Well,
for
we're
us,
entertaining.
so let's listen to
Yeah.
it, you know.
I think it will.
I would love to pursue a grant to be able to get a
That's what,
splash
grant.
pad, but Matt and I are already granting out the ears with other stuff.
That's for sure.
We're trying to replace
That's
our fire
what I
suppression
think.
system, the sewer laterals in Old Bisbee. What I would say, you're right, you are a recommendation committee, but there's nothing that will stop you guys if you want to initiate applying or looking for a grant. That's what a lot of people will do as far as that goes. They see something they want or whatnot, they start looking for things to do it. So,
Okay.
and if you see something, get started, like, you will need our help with grants or whatnot. So
Yeah.
it would be a partnership, but if there's any kind of legwork you guys could do outside of just making recommendations to make things move, that would
Good
be it.
point, good point.
Well, let me just point out that 20 by 20 is like this area. It's not a huge.
Yeah.
It is huge.
It's
You think this
enormous.
is
It's
huge?
400
Yes.
square feet.
Quarter of this building here?
Yes.
Well, if a splash pad, it would be, it was,
You have like 10
it's
kids
okay,
at a
size
time.
wise.
And-
Oh, I see, and that's big enough.
And I'm pretty sure,
I think it's way too
the gentleman that we were, have a conversation with said that we can plan it to where if we want to expand, we have the opportunity.
Yeah, then you can always add on to it.
Sure.
And he says
That's
he
what we had
recommends
talked
it.
about before, is starting small.
I
right.
really,
People always be like, they wish they got a little bit bigger. He said that's the most common thing. He's like, if you do that in the front end, you set it up so you can expand easily later.
How big was that one you were at, Caitlin?
Probably about that big.
About
20.
I
Usually have them by the
a tennis
pool,
court, but
the
not
pool
even
and
that.
then- I know.
I think it'd be great to have a splash pad, but I'd rather have a pool and benches first.
I would,
Yeah.
That will.
But Bill, he said he will pay for it, so, you know.
What's that?
Didn't you say you'll get a splash
Yeah,
pad?
I'll just write it down, no problem.
Come into the office tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
anything else about splash pads? I would appreciate you guys following up on it. So Is tabling it a good idea?
Yeah, just table it for now.
Do we need motions to table
Mm,
things?
I don't think so.
No.
I've been
It
looking.
hasn't gone any far to table anything. You haven't made any decision. You
I've been
haven't
looking
No,
at
made any.
grants and stuff, and I
I'm
haven't seen
trying to-
anything that would fund a splash pad.
I'm trying to think of council members, did they, when they table, I think. they
No,
did.
this is just a
Yeah,
discussion,
just
so
discussion.
we haven't made any motion on it, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So table it,
Yeah.
okay. So park signs, we looked at some pretty fancy ones, and then.
And I showed you some, didn't I?
Yes, you
I
did.
sent you some that I took down at Douglas, the
Douglas.
park down there. They're about this big, a low metal stand, and fairly inexpensive,
Mhm.
descriptive of whatever it was pointing out.
So we know we can have them. Have they been ordered?
Are they installed
You
yet?
were gonna check the price on just those normal city signs that go up in the park.
It's, I don't have it now.
Okay.
And, yeah, I thought we were just waiting to order them.
What were we gonna describe on the sign? Just the name of the park, basically?
Yeah, just the name,
That's
so they don't know the
Yeah.
name.
That's all right.
Yeah, those
No-
ones in
and
Douglas
In
were,
little letters, no grills underneath.
Yeah. Cynthia Conroy would like no smoking as well, no vaping in there.
No, we all have wishes, but.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah,
Well, I wouldn't mind that either.
so the signs, then where are we on that? What, a sign for
Those
each
are-
park, right?
Tell me when to
Yeah.
order them, and I'll get them.
Tell them
We
to
don't
order
know.
them and let's just.
do we want a certain color? This is one thing.
These
So
were,
brown seems to be kind of
Yeah,
a state
kinda.
brown color. and-
Brown with white lettering,
Yeah, and with
Yeah.
the city
where you want
logo.
pink lettering.
Yeah.
What?
yeah, see, no, but there's all those details and, yeah, script
We
or
talked
what,
about having the
Holy
name of
Wisher.
the park.
Yes.
We talked about having City of Bisbee logo.
And that was
Yeah. Yeah,
just, yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Brown and white signs with the city logo. That is.
Nice, simple.
Yeah,
Simple.
simple.
So is
should
that
have them
mean-
by December, mid-December?
and just putting them up on the fences.
How long do they usually take?
Yeah, I think they've gotten
They're
a lot
getting
better. Yeah.
Putting them up where, did you say?
On the fences.
This many
Yeah, or
signs,
something, and these had
13
little
parks.
stands, little metal stands, and they were about this high.
Maybe they don't have vandalism in Douglas.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah,
I got some parking here in Douglas. Holy cow, we got some nice parks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do too.
We do too, I know, but
come on,
we got
man.
some,
Oh, I was kidding.
got some cool parks.
Okay,
Speaking of
so,
parks, this
so
park is.
that's a done deal?
It's a done deal.
But wait a minute,
Yeah.
have we decided
Next time
to
we'll talk
use
about it.
bills
No.
on stands,
No.
or we're just gonna put them on the fence?
It'll depend on the park, I
fairly
believe.
Well,
yucky,
Vista Park, where is the fence there?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, if there's not a fence, we'll put a pole.
Yeah,
If
it-
there's a
Oh,
pole,
okay,
if
okay,
there's
yeah,
a
that's
fence,
good.
we'll
No,
put a
okay.
fence.
wait a minute, some of them, the one at the bottom of, what's it called, Paul's Park.
Uh-huh.
Paul's Park, it's where Arizona Street comes
And
down.
We've got some more.
and
Okay,
more
now, isn't that just, I mean, it's a chain link fence.
3/4 of it, yeah.
I mean, we're gonna put a sign on a chain link fence?
It's a park, and it has a name, and so it deserves a sign.
I totally agree with that, but,
I think the majority of the signs will be on a post.
excellent.
Can't
And
be
then
enough.
the ones like Garfield Park, or not even there, there's,
You decide.
Higgins Park is the one that we can put on a chain link fence. The rest of them will be pretty much post mounted.
Yeah, and you just have to put them where you would ascertain the most prominent place for
Correct.
people
Where
to
you would
walk.
go in, where you would
And you may
enter.
need 2 or 3, who knows, but you would just do one and that.
Yeah, and we're
Start.
going to, go before we order, drive each park, and, oh, this one needs 2, this one needs 3. Vista Park, it probably needs 5 or 6.
Yeah, that's right.
Don't put any in the top one.
It's still Vista Park.
I know it is, but we'll have a different sign there.
What
Okay,
kind of,
that's
Yeah,
fine.
big sign.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
parking
sign.
lot.
Alright, sounds good.
Okay,
Okay,
yeah.
anything
so
else on
special.
park
So,
signs?
end of December, I'll see the signs,
Should.
okay?
All right.
And,
And you know, Deborah, she's gonna go around
and the
driving.
benches. And the benches.
And the benches.
And the
Hey.
benches.
Just call me and we'll just drive around together.
Okay.
And the trash.
Is that allowed? Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
number 4. Number 4, last.
The Warren
Warren
kiosk.
kiosk.
Yay.
Warren kiosk, I talked to Matt earlier, hopefully not out of
No.
tune or whatever, but Michael Friday, finally, Michael Page, he's a great artist, but he's a little slow getting everything together. So he gave me a template, which is not a template. We were thinking of a template being a piece of plywood with holes in it where the foundation's gonna go. But it actually is the foundation. It's about from here to there, at the end of the table, it's about this wide. It's made of steel, has steel plates and bars going across. It's all welded together, it's one piece. And there's 4 threaded rods, which are like about 3/4 of an inch thick,
Into the
going down, 4 on each end, and they go into a concrete dug level with the earth, a concrete pad that's about this deep, about 1.5 feet deep, about 1.5 feet, 2 feet wide, concrete that's gonna be poured by Matt, and this thing will set there.
Well.
And then when the kiosk comes, this is under the best of circumstances, when the kiosk is delivered, which is it's gonna take a crane to
Yeah.
hold it up and set it down, and then those 4 plates, or the 2 plates with 4 rebar threaded rods at each, it will bolt to that, so that holds it in the ground.
We don't need a
The
crane.
kiosk, so.
And do you,
We don't need a crane for that? It's pretty big.
We did the one at the cemetery, we did by us.
Oh, yeah, that's similar to that, yeah, for sure.
And a backhoe and.
Oh, a backhoe, okay, yeah, okay. I
Um,
think Michael Page has it down at the airport, but I'm not sure where it is.
I don't know.
It's
Oh,
gonna
with
be
the
it's
sign?
gonna be solid.
That's
Huh?
It's gonna be solid.
No, it's solid.
That's a better foundation than the cemetery one was, that's different.
Where's the sign now?
What?
Where is it at?
Where is it? I
Yeah.
don't know.
Where's it going?
No, not where it's going, he made it already.
Well, we think it's down, he brought it from Mexico. From
Yeah, he told me, that's the reason I'm asking, because I knew a few weeks ago
As far
he
as
had
I
it in
know, it's
Mexico.
down at the airport.
Oh, it's
somewhere.
here.
I have not
That's my
seen it.
question.
No, I've
Okay.
not seen it.
Yeah, I'm just saying, where's
Yeah,
the
I
sign?
thought,
Yeah,
I
it's
know,
already
he
built,
brought it
yeah.
over,
Yeah.
and he's doing the lettering, but he's a little vague as exactly, I've seen pictures of it, and I've actually gone down to Douglas to see it, and it's big, and it's steel.
Oh, you've seen the sign,
I've
you've seen it?
seen
Okay.
the thing,
I found
but not
the-
with the lettering.
Okay.
I've just
Are
seen
we-
his rendition.
are we still putting it, do we still need to move a,
Telephone pole,
Telephone-
no, we,
No, that's
that
not
would be
working out.
a forever
so
project.
can you put
so.
it in the top thing?
When I was with Doug Dunn and Matt, we
Yeah.
looked at an area that was avoiding the
To the west of the
landscape
pole, a little bit.
watering. Yeah, to the west of Vista Park on Congdon, in about 20 feet from Congdon Avenue, in more to the west side and at a slight angle, so when you go down Bisbee Road and you turn on Congdon, what is it, center on the right, Congdon on
Congdon,
the
yeah.
left, you turn on Congdon and go down, it's gonna say a city beautiful, it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be a defining
Yes.
thing,
Yes.
for Warren, and then, because they said that in the beginning, when that was put up in 1907, 1908, that people referred to Warren, they didn't say Warren, because Warren was established at the time to be the City Beautiful. They called it the City Beautiful. They didn't say, oh, have you been over to Warren? Have you been over to the City Beautiful? Because they had the dance pavilion over there, they had a swimming pool,
Yeah.
and they had a rail car system taking the people
Yep.
to work, which
Yeah.
are mostly men, of course, right?
Yeah.
Nobody else is working in the mines underground, so
I'd like to give Bill a,
it's.
Yeah, thank you. I really enjoyed
No, but
this.
it's so exciting to me.
And for working with Michael Page to get him to finish this.
Yeah, we'll get the foundation in pretty quick. It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
a
that's a
matter
good
of getting
idea.
that well to block it off for a
Yeah, I've
while.
got that foundation at my house, and
So do we need to talk
Prominent
about this next meeting, do you think?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Oh, it'll be,
Yeah, because,
Hopefully
man,
it'll be
we
up.
should have that in and then maybe get, and then there's more work to be done after it's
Yeah.
set. But,
Can we have it before the end of the year, you think? by
I
Christmas?
think it won't be finished, so it won't be time for the unveiling, but it'll be, you know, people will go, what the hell is that?
Okay.
it'll be installed by December.
Yeah, I would think, don't you?
Wow.
I don't know, it depends on Michael Page. He's just as slow as government.
Yeah. Well, that
Slow
was
as
good.
government, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
That's what we're talking about.
At least he's honest about it.
Hey, it's just a fact.
He
Exactly.
knows it.
Okay, any other discussion on the kiosk?
Well, just quickly, so you set the one in the Evergreen Cemetery, how long before it was finished, and was it months later or something?
No, well, no, that one we got complete.
Really?
Yeah, when we got it, it was complete, we put it up, and that was it.
Who made it?
Who made that? Yeah.
Michael Page.
Michael Page.
He's very talented, by the way. He's really talented.
No,
Just
he's
takes his
out
time.
Well done.
Yeah.
Talent-wise, he's
Yeah.
And one thing we should look at, so we've talked about, I've talked with Sarah, with Boyd Nickel and coming up with historical, because we're gonna show some historical pictures, and that's what Michael Page, when he sent out those emails, it shows something, you know, how it looked at the time and stuff. So
Oh, yeah.
we'll look at the pictures and decide, our group will
Oh,
decide
we still have to do
what
that?
pictures.
Oh, right.
There won't be, I mean, we're not gonna look at 100 pictures, but we'll look at a few and say,
There's a
what
lot.
5 or 6 pictures do we want displayed on this thing?
That would be a
Sometime
work
in
session.
February.
Yeah.
It's
You
not-
guys
Well,
can-
I think, yeah,
I think that
that
would,
be
yeah, like I said,
Fair
when we wanna do that, like you said, that would be a work session. We can set up a separate
Oh,
work
yeah, that'd be
session.
cool. Oh,
And
So
to
we don't
decide
have
Before
to have-
December, so if he
Yeah.
gets it and he said, pick your pictures, you guys email Nina and say, hey, can we set up a work session? And it'll be specifically to just pick out the
Because
pictures.
you're gonna be stuck with those forever,
I
so
did hear-
a decision
Well, I
has to be
think that
made.
it'll be, my impression is it's gonna be, you could change those pictures. Some of them will be big like this, but it
Yeah.
seems to me
They
they're
have to have.
just blow-ups of a cool.
Sarah?
Oh, well, I have been asking around about where we could get some really good pictures, because Boyd wasn't really saying he has a lot of pictures, but he knows the history, and so he could help with the wording and some ideas, but I heard that to go to the mining museum, and the
Yes.
librarian there is really good. and
Right.
The mining museum, if you go onto their website, Jason sent me the link, because I'm looking, because I've been working on the kiosk, sorry,
Gazebo.
not gazebo, and I wanted to try and grasp exactly, you know, what was there and everything, so Jason from the library sent me a link to the mining museum, website, and I can go through everything Warren, on there, so yeah, definitely go on there, and then when we pick them out, we can get them from the museum, and there'll be a better resolution versus just
Sure.
getting them right off the website.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and when you go into the mining museum, you see those big blow-up, and they're pretty clear. You go, holy
Yeah.
cow, they're done very well,
So,
Okay,
So
so that's
the
on the
library,
agenda
too.
for next meeting,
especially.
or in between.
you can do a
Yes.
work session, a special work session.
When things have been gathered,
I would say after it's installed, right, or, I mean.
I
we can do it
would,
whenever.
yeah,
I think
I
we
say
could
Michael
start.
Pages.
Yeah.
Whenever
Sarah
you
said we
want.
can start, yeah.
well, you're
Whenever
gonna
you want.
install
We
the
could
kiosk and then put the lettering in.
That's what I think he's gonna have the lettering, but the pictures will be
Have to
put
be
into
selected.
these
And-
plexiglass frames. I'm just guessing because of what we've talked about, so,
Perhaps, well,
So we
You know.
can choose the pictures anytime.
that's right.
Yeah, so you
okay.
can pick
And
up,
then, but there'll be some that are big, and then some that are maybe a little smaller with,
so,
and then we'll have to have some wording describing.
I'll have,
so.
I
Do you
think
want-
Boyd would be a good person
I
to
think he
help us
would be
with the
too,
wording.
yeah. and he
do you
would.
want us to get with Nina to see when we could have a special work session?
Well,
the
why don't
next-
I get back to you?
He needs to get to
after-
Michael first to see
Michael.
what does he really want, what the size is.
Once we get that
Yeah, we
foundation,
have to know
that
that.
foundation piece in,
Yeah.
and I say, Michael, okay, are you ready?
Okay.
We're ready to
Yeah,
go.
that's fine.
Set it. I'd like to know what that
Yes.
time.
So just let me know when you guys are
Okay.
ready, and then we can get with Nina to figure out when we can have a special.
Okay, now
work
with-
Session.
Since we have that thing, you should tell me when we wanna dig and pour the concrete and set that, you
Yeah.
know, thing.
I
Foundation.
think we can probably do that next week, right?
Yeah, I'll call Blue Stake in tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. we
Oh,
got that
okay,
Tuesday.
cool.
I'll Blue
Yeah,
Stake
we-
it and it'll be good for
next
14
week?
days.
Yeah, because I had told you that we could do it in the first,
Quickly,
2 or 3
first
weeks of
couple weeks,
November.
yeah, okay, that'd be cool.
Okay, let me understand now. Michael is ready, we just need to dig the hole, whatever, so
Dig
it's
the hole,
ready.
put that in and then
So this
set
has nothing to do with what we, his lettering. Lettering comes
his
on later
lettering,
on.
he said
can do it
it's
later.
been done, or it's being
Oh.
done. And I'd like to see, now that it's been brought over to the airport,
So they can proceed with with the foundation, is that what you're
Yeah.
saying?
yeah, put the
Oh, okay.
foundation in, and then he can set,
Okay.
we can
because
set
the
that.
piece that he has is a piece of steel, it's,
Yeah.
and then the big gazebo, man, I'd make my
Kiosk.
The kiosk.
The kiosk will come and sit on that and bolt to that, because that's
Oh,
an
yeah.
inch of the concrete.
So you can start with you can do
Yeah.
and you have the measurement and everything to.
Yeah, well, that is what it needs to
Now,
be.
the other thing that Michael Page has talked about, and I've kind of talked to him, but haven't gotten into much detail, he wanted to make historical bricks, you know, from Castle Rock going up, where they got the names of people in a little glass
Wow.
plaque. He wanted to make
Of course.
bricks and sell the bricks for $100 a piece with donated by the so-and-so family, and have a brick, but once we see it set there, and have a brick surround kind of, so.
You know what I think, I just thought we should have 2 kiosks.
Let's just do that one. I don't think it was the other one. Yeah.
Just because you're having one facing that way, it'd be neat to have another one
That's
like
true,
this.
that's true.
And you can have more stuff.
No, but see, the reason Doug Dunn and I, when you were there, man, we talked about having it that way because you're driving into Warren, the City Beautiful, and you're driving out, you've already seen the City Beautiful, so you kind of know what's happening there.
Yeah,
So
I get
that
it.
sign is at a slight angle, is what it is, the kiosk, is slight to attract people, oh, what's this?
Yeah.
And then we think they would park and get out and take a picture, you know, around the kiosk.
And that'll add into the, yeah,
Okay,
Just quickly, the cool thing too is, I'm gonna double check some of these readings I've done, but I think there was only, you know, it was a movement that came over from England, late 1800s, because there was a lot of industrialization, and around industrial centers, there was a lot of tenement slums. And it was a beautification project that came from England over to the United States, and Washington DC, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, even Coral Gables, Florida was one of them, but Coral Gables, Florida was in the 20s. So I think there's only about 20 city beautifuls in the United States, and for Warren to Bisbee to be one, that's a pretty cool, I mean, that's pretty cool.
so for the ribbon cutting, Bill will give his spiel.
That's when it will happen.
Would we, maybe that we can mention, we can be one of the writings on, you know, how this, you know, be part
Yeah.
of the writing.
No, absolutely.
I think
You know,
that'd be
all the
great.
Detail of how it all
Are we done with the kiosk?
Go ahead, Kaylin.
Please, please. Any
Should
member-
we call it a Bill-us?
Bill us,
Bill us.
bill us.
That's good, Joe.
The Bill Bailey kiosk.
All right,
Any
member
member
comments.
comments?
Sorry.
Oh,
Please, no. Any staff comments?
No.
So for future items, I have the benches for the Vista, but they may already be installed, so we may just be thanking you. And the Warren kiosk may be already,
signs maybe.
signs will be done.
Oh, yeah,
So those are all more for the update.
okay,
That'd
yeah,
be great.
I have that written down in.
Park signs, Warren kiosk and 6
And,
benches.
and the
Benches,
report from the fire
kiosks.
marshal.
Oh, yeah, and the grill, fire marshal, okay?
Grill update.
Grill update.
Yes, we're
Yeah.
gonna grill you again.
Yeah. Okay, and the next scheduled meeting, Lorena will send that out
And the pool,
Yeah, that we
Report
would.
on
that's a major one about the
Status of.
status of the pool.
Status.
Engineering report.
I never go on a meeting without a pool.
No, I know, that's why I'm for you. So the pool, you know, because they have to do the presentation for approval from it, so we need to make sure that they are on
Yes.
course.
Yeah, so we should be
And
hopefully finding and having a plan by the next meeting, if nothing else.
For the pool.
We'll have
Yeah.
to do the council, we have to get permission to go out to RFP.
Yeah.
So after that.
But
we can
in the
go
next
to
meeting, hopefully
The
we've
next
done
meeting
it.
will be till February.
Right.
just
Yeah.
do some. Could I add one thing, that in the next meeting, I think the Project Wildlife will be able to give an update
Awesome.
That's a good one.
on what we're doing.
Okay. Okay.
And then we'll probably have ARPA fund, parks and ARPA fund update, I think would be one that we should have. And I guess I do have staff comments. We are looking, because we have ARPA funds for different parks, we are looking for a playground replacement for Tin Town. We have 25,000, I won't spend all that, I won't be spending 25,000, but the rest of that will be going to, all the park stuff that's left over will go to that, gazebo and everything, too.
I thought we
So
talked about.
maybe you can add that gazebo, we're done with the benches, you can add that as an,
Yeah,
as
so-
a
So
feature.
now when we see.
Yeah.
We'll
yeah.
do,
When we approve
parks
it.
and ARPA. And then Saginaw has some money as well, was giving money as
And
well.
there are kids in Saginaw, but Tin Town, didn't we?
It's
We-
just
we-
We talked, I went over to Tin Town, there wasn't much.
Our
happening.
recommendation was that we wouldn't spend
Wouldn't
money
do
on
anything.
Tin Town.
I've been contacted by multiple people in Tin Town, and they say there's about 30 kids. I
Wow.
guess
Good,
there's,
Have come back.
yes,
I
so
guess.
there's a bunch of families that have been historically there, and they, when I talked to them, they said they've got grandkids and lots of kids
Oh,
now.
yeah,
So
cool.
they were upset
Great.
because that playground equipment, it's not safe.
Yeah.
We all thought it was a
Great.
good idea to invest in Tin Town, and then we did some research and,
Yes, and
and we were like,
There's nobody.
I
there's
remember
nobody
Nobody
here.
over there,
There's
yeah.
nobody
Yeah.
over here.
And I didn't put the different parks, it was put out, I think city manager or somebody put that in there, so.
excellent.
And then we do have funds for Vista Park, gazebo and whatnot already in there as well.
Okay.
After the benches and
Not,
stuff.
not whatnot, benches
And
and
whatnot.
gazebo.
No, benches are already,
Benches and
Which is our
gazebo.
done deal. Okay, 7:02. Oh, is there a motion to adjourn?
I make a
Oh, no, we all wanna stay here.
Is there a second?
I second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, 7:02. All right.
Okay.
Got something done?
See, isn't it fun?
Yeah, it seems that was a good meeting, guys.
I think
Enjoy.